I want to talk about the difference between fasting and keto and which one is better. I had this question come up underneath one of the descriptions in my YouTube videos, so I want to just talk about it. So when we talk about keto, we're talking about low carb. Now you could do keto with zero carb. You could do that, but most people have just a small amount of carb. They might have it between 20 and 50 grams. But when you're doing fasting, you're bringing it down to no carbs because you're not eating anything, okay? So just for the fact that you have no carbs means that you're going to have way more ketones than when you do actually do keto if you compare them together. Now, with keto, you're going to be eating at a certain frequency. And every time you eat, regardless of what you eat, if there's any significance of calories, you're going to stimulate something called GIP, okay? That's in the small intestine. That triggers a spike in insulin. So even though you're consuming low carbohydrates, you are stimulating insulin when you eat to a certain degree. But over here, when you're fasting, there's no GIP stimulated. So you're going to have a lot lower insulin and a lot more ketones that are generated. All right, next thing is that when you actually are in ketones, you will stimulate certain genes that will help you in various ways. But when you're fasting, you actually enhance even additional genes that have to do with survival and definitely have to do with anti-aging and longevity, which will help the brain become more focused and the heart to become more efficient. And those ketones that are generated for both will actually increase more oxygen in the body and less CO2. And ketones in general act as antioxidants. Now with fasting, you're going to get much more autophagy. And that is a condition where your body is recycling old damaged proteins and turning them into new tissue. Now with ketosis, you are going to get some autophagy, but not nearly as much. So just by looking at these two alone, you can see that fasting has a much more powerful impact on your health than just ketosis. But I recommend you combine them together because they will have a compounded effect. The benefits will be enhanced because doing one will help the other. Doing this will help that. It'll be easier to do because when you're doing fasting and then you eat, if you actually eat keto, less carbs, your cravings will be diminished. You won't be hungry as much. But if you're doing fasting and you're doing higher carbohydrates, you may find that, number one, it's going to bump you out of ketosis for longer, and you're going to be actually craving for more carbs. So that's one little issue with that. So eating keto makes fasting easier. Now, when you're doing keto and not doing intermittent fasting, you may not see the benefits that you would, especially with weight loss, anti-aging, cognitive effects, especially if you're doing keto with keto snacks. So you're doing 3 meals with a snack in the morning, lunch, and at night. You're probably going to really diminish your results. So if you're trying to lose weight and you're doing keto but not IF and you have a slow metabolism, you may find that you're going to actually stall or plateau sooner or later. So combining both of these will definitely allow you to achieve your health goals much faster. Now, if you're new to my channel and you're not sure how to do it, I'm going to recommend doing what's called the healthy version of keto, as well as intermittent fasting, and I put a link down below of exactly where to get that plan. Hey, before you leave, I just wanted to give you a little quick history on some of the books that I wrote. This was one of the first books. It's called Dr. Berg Body Shapes. It was my attempt at writing about body types. What was very interesting about this book is I actually did all the images myself. Don't ask me why. They look actually not quite as professional as some of the images that I have in the new book. But anyway, this is my first attempt right here called Dr. Berg's Body Shape Diets. And then I wrote a book more extensive called The 7 Principles of Fat Burning. I don't even have a copy anymore, actually, because it's outdated. The next book, I put about 1,000 hours into this one right here called The New Body Type Guide. Major updates on the body types. I put a lot of energy into this. It has professional images, graphics, all sorts of things. Now, the problem with this book is it doesn't really describe what this is really about. Body types are only a small portion of what's in this book. And that's why I changed the name to the Healthy Keto Plan, okay? If you happen to have this book, you don't really need this book because there's some only very, very minor updates. But if you don't have this, you need to get this one right here. This book goes into every single detail that you would ever want to know about. It goes into the 7 principles of fat burning. It goes into hormones, the body types, the basic keto plan. It goes into intermittent fasting. I talk about the 10 fat burning triggers and blockers and fat burning strategies with a lot of details in every single chapter. I go into body issues that interfere with losing weight. There's very few people that just have a weight problem. They have a lot of body issues, whether it's sleeping problems, stress problems, inflammation, menopause. I cover that extensively in this book. Then I talk about how to get rid of stress, and I show you a technique. Then I get into exercising. And then I have a lot of really good recipes in this book as well. So this is a good reference guide. On my website, if you get this book, you get this one free. It's called Healthy Keto and Intermittent Fasting. This is the shortcut, quick guide to this book. And the reason I created this book is to have you, within 45 minutes, learn how to do keto, okay, in intermittent fasting, exactly what you need to do. Then you can fill in the blanks with this book right here. So right now I'm doing a special. If you get this book, you get this one totally free, or you can go to Amazon and get these individually. So I just want to clarify the difference between this book and this updated one right here. If you don't have this, you need to get this right here. That way you can get the exact correct information to do it healthily.